The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances.
A frank conversation with a moon. With a moon. Real stories, real people, real conversations. Just fine. You're listening to Real Frank Conversation.
Are we live? What's good, great people? I am Ezel Moon, and I have a special guest in the building today. Today, our guest is a leader, engineer, entrepreneur, and the founder of one of the fastest rising Black-owned whiskey brands in the country, Brotha Whiskey. What started as a vision to increase representation in the spirits industry has grown into an award-winning brand built on culture, community, authenticity, and excellence. Beyond the bottle, he's creating conversations about ownership, legacy, and what it means to build something that lasts. Please help me welcome the founder and CEO of Brotha Whiskey and my frat brother, Mr. Deondra Randle.
What's going on, family?
What's going on, family? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. How about you?
I'm well. Did you hear the intro?
I did, and that was amazing, bro. I appreciate all the love, all the clapping you gave, man. And I will say that your intro, I was vibing to it the whole time. I like that. That's my kind of music too.
See, that's the thing. Like, see, that's the thing. I was just about to. I was actually about to change my intro. Right. All right. Look, y'all. For those who are joining and who are coming in, I was about to change my intro because I like bossa nova. And my mid 30s has been mostly like, bossa nova, like luxury hotel vibes. You know what I mean? Like as far as the sounds and things that I listen to while I'm driving by myself. Right.
Right.
That's just where it's been at with me. Actually, matter of fact, what do you listen to when you drive when nobody's around? You driving by yourself. You say you like this type of music, but what do you listen to when you by yourself?
Honestly, I might listen to some little jazz instrumentals. So like some jazz instrumentals or something like that. Maybe a little trombone shorty, a little something. I get into my bag a little bit because it helps me think a little bit more. My gears get to running a lot. So I'm heavy on the jazz and blues, honestly.
Listen, I can totally understand that. I wanted to launch into my questions for you, but I did want to also get a little bit of an understanding. Real fast, random. Why whiskey?
Oh, so
why not, another spirit, tequila, rum, vodka, why whiskey?
That's a great question, first and foremost. So I'm going to give you your props on that one. So whiskey, because whiskey is literally the language of connection, and it is the spirit of connection. Whiskey is also one of the oldest spirits in this country. And a lot of the other spirits are like not necessarily the predecessors, but they like whiskey starts off, most people don't understand, as a beer in the mash, right? So you mash up the grain, get all that good stuff, you ferment it, and you get a beer. And then you distill it a little bit and you get your vodka. And then after you throw it in the barrel and age it, it becomes whiskey. From that distillate, it ages, you get the chemical process and all that kind of stuff. You get the color and a little bit of the flavor from the char on the barrel, and it becomes whiskey. So it's a very complex spirit. And I'm an engineer by degree, so I love complex things. I'm very inquisitive by nature. So I just love to learn about things, see how they came to be. And honestly, connecting with people. It's one of those spirits that you just sit down and drink with somebody. You sip neat, even if you sip on the rocks or you sip a cocktail, you make sure that you enjoy your whiskey. because it's going to last you for a little while. It's not something you just want to take back all the time. There are shot whiskeys, but when you're drinking a fine whiskey, it's to be enjoyed.
You touched on engineering, right? What was that like, attaining your engineering degree?
Oh, it was different for me. It was challenging, I will say that. So I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, which is, I would say, arguably the hardest discipline outside of chemical. I'm gonna be honest. I'll give chemical their flowers right there. They got it.
What does mechanical engineering and chemical engineering have on philosophy?
On philosophy. So the very first thing they tell you in engineering school when you become a mechanical engineer is they say the definition of mechanical engineering is the study of any and everything moving. And so when we both understand that if it's a study of any and everything moving, it's not just when you're in school, they don't just teach you topics, they teach you how to actually learn. So you're learning the system of any and everything that actually moves. So you understand the system that's broken down to a subsystem, that's broken down into other parts that build that subsystem just to make up a system. And then you have to integrate with other things. So whether it be a bottle, whether it be a table, whether it be the mind, you may not know the actual, the practicality of what it is, but you know that there are a lot of things that go into that one system. And then you start to delve into the details and you figure it out. So honestly, a lot of engineers go off to be like lawyers and stuff. Like once we have that base as mechanical engineering, you go off and do something completely different. You see, I'm in whiskey, so
You went off and said, you know what, man, whiskey. Like let me make this happen. This is gonna be the one.
right.
What is the name? I've really been wanting to know this. Talk to me about the name, Brotha Whiskey. What is it representing to you? How much does the name align to your goals, your aspirations? Talk to me about this name.
Oh, absolutely, man. So honestly, where we just came from, literally in that last question, it feeds into this perfectly. So I'm originally from Portland, Oregon, born and raised, way on the other side of the country. Went to school in North Carolina, got my engineering degree, and for the first time, I was a part of the majority. Like everybody, just affluent families, just people that were the only ones in the family to ever go to college, first generation, things of that nature. But we were all there to strive to be better and to make this world better and to, achieve better things for us. So first time you got everybody else, and I had never seen that, especially with so many people. North Carolina A&T is the largest HBCU in the country as well. And we graduate the most Black engineers in the world. I'm just gonna throw that out there, shameless plug. So so what I'm saying is after I left that safe space where I was a part of the majority, I went back into corporate America. And in corporate America, I went to the railroad space. So it was literally just me all the time again. And I didn't just go in at the bottom ranks. I went in an actual like corporate role. I was not necessarily running things, but I was in the boardrooms and in front of clients and customers and doing consulting and things like that. We were in cigar lounges and boardrooms. And in these spaces during these fellowship events, it was whiskey. And they really understood whiskey. It was like the language in the room. But I didn't understand it because in college, we drank whatever we could, obviously. Whatever we could get our hands on, we drank it a little bit. So whether it was cognac or vodka, we drank what we needed to have a good time. But they had 5 years, 10 years, scotches, bourbons, wheat whiskeys. They had all these things, and I had no idea what any of them was. All I could do was drink it and say, okay, it's kind of good, right? So I didn't enjoy being an outlier. I didn't enjoy being an outsider, not understanding what it meant to have and enjoy whiskey. And especially since I had worked my whole life to be in this engineering community, and I knew the same things as these people, if not more. And they had a leg up on me, so I didn't enjoy it. So I went off on the side and I taught myself everything I needed to know about whiskey just to assimilate into that engineering culture that I had matriculated into. So I literally went off on the side, just reading, testing myself, and then I started to teach other people about whiskey as well so that they could understand it because I know I wasn't the only one in this situation that had this issue. So now we have a little bit of community, and people started to call me Brotha Whiskey from that. People literally said, oh, okay. okay, Brother Whiskey. All right, like I still feel like to this day that there's a lot of people out here that don't actually know my name. So they call me Brother Whiskey every time they see me, even people that really know me.
They don't even say D.
Right. Nah. Hey, Brother Whiskey, come here. Oh, okay. All right, bro. I come accustomed to it. You know what I'm saying? So even after that, then they started to, ask me like, so when can I taste the whiskey? When can I get a little bit? When are you selling bottles? You bring some bottles with you next time. And I'm like, I don't actually have a whiskey. I just know a good amount about whiskey, and I teach you, I teach us, and I got a whole bunch of whiskey from everybody else. But that kind of, sparked something in my mind because I never actually planned to have a whiskey brand. But it sparked something that I noticed a real gap in the market for a premium black-owned whiskey, that we could actually enjoy, and it was owned by somebody who actually knew whiskey and the whiskey market. So I took that and put my dream in a bottle. We're here today.
That's all right. That's all right. And I mean, you hit a lot of different points with that one, but I do want to just touch back at, North Carolina A&T real fast. Hey, really quickly, what fraternity are you a part of again?
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
That is the greatest fraternity known to man, and it is honestly amazing to see a brother that is a part of the same fraternity that I'm part of that says, hey, you know what, let me go ahead and side quest into starting a whiskey business. You literally said that, and it's what it was. You just said, hey, I'm gonna do this part really quickly right here and side quest into this. That's amazing, dog. Sincerely.
Appreciate it, dog.
Sincerely.
It's been a journey.
It has. And the reason why I want to be very clear, the reason why I say side quest is because, you had a successful career in engineering and project management, and then you said entrepreneurship. That is absolutely amazing. Talk to me about, the biggest misconception you had about starting a business.
Oh. Honestly, I would say wearing all the hats and wearing them effectively. Honestly, because you can put on that hat, but that don't mean it's gonna fit right. So, I mean, you have to wear the sales hat, you have to wear the marketing hat, in this industry, the whiskey hat, because I had to make sure that the whiskey is there in production and stock where it comes from, how much I have, like when my next inventory is coming from, what my raw materials are. Like the country is in a state of depression right now, low key. So I got to make sure that I have glass for my next bottles, and that's been an issue. But that's all the stuff like legal and compliance, literally every single hat. You got to wear them effectively when you're a small brand because nobody's about to run to save you. Like running from it will not save you at all. So it's just not gonna work.
You're right.
I mean, that's really the biggest misconception that I had. And honestly, following that is getting into stores and locations that just because people had product, I didn't know who was gonna buy my product when I first launched it. I just knew that this is the route I was taking. And I just put myself out there, honestly. You just gotta start somewhere.
The whiskey industry isn't known for diversity. Did you feel like you had to work twice as hard to, earn your credibility, especially, after, well, I mean, not after, but literally while wearing all these hats?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. And honestly, the job is never done. So I would say I'm literally still learning credibility. I mean, earning credibility and building my way up. Because the whiskey industry is one that hasn't always been the most open. And it's definitely those doors have been really closed. But over the years, I've been in the industry doing things for about 10 years now. You start to break down those barriers and figure everything out. But it's not the easiest thing to do, especially when you walk into a whiskey bar and they look at you like, okay, are you supposed to be here? And then after you have one or two and you start to tell them things that they didn't know, then the barriers start to break down, they start to come down just a little bit and they start to understand that, all right, well, maybe he might know a little bit something. Let me get something out the back. And you have to take this before, have you seen this? And now it's more so a fellowship, it's a friendship, as well as like when you go to stores and you're trying to get into a new account, a new bar, a restaurant, a store, whatever it may be, they're not going. The first thing they're gonna say is, "Well, how do you plan on selling? What channels do you use? Not is it good? Like, how you gonna sell it? Because they'll take the worst whiskey in the world if a couple people know it. But if you're black, the second you walk through the door, there's a misconception most of the time. So it pays for us to buy from us.
You know, I want to ask just a little sidebar question because of the fact that, as someone who has perused some of those circles, um, not at, just as someone who likes to learn, right? What do you feel like is the cigar that pairs well with your whiskey?
Ooh, now we talking. All right. Let's see, I like a medium to a mild cigar, in my opinion. And that really depends on the day, if it's medium, if it's mild. A little Maduro wrapper, maybe not Venezuelan, but definitely like Maduro wrapper or Nicaraguan. But I like a medium to a mild cigar because it pairs good with the color. The color, as you can see, is nice, deep, dark brown. I like to call it the last rays of a sunset. You know what I'm saying? So, as well as it's 101 proof, so it sits right on your palate. And for those who don't know, when you actually taste whiskey or you taste anything, honestly, your taste buds and your sensors aren't on your tongue. That's not what you're tasting. That's what you feel, and it's really through your sense of smell. So, as you're smoking that cigar and then you sip the whiskey, it kind of finishes it off for you. So, yeah, the caramelization of the taste and all that good stuff as you oxidize your palate when you blow out, it gives you a full, smooth finish.
I had to ask that question not just for, my friends that are, in the cigar community that,
Yeah.
watching this, but also for my producer who definitely made sure that he's going to find a way to get your whiskey. Hopefully he is not getting, because apparently your whiskey is so good, somebody in Detroit is trying to make it work.
Brother, I need to find them, man.
That's crazy. I want to ask you though, give us some of the things that you feel like makes Brother Whiskey different from every other bottle on the shelf. I personally am attached to the fact that it's you, right,
Mm.
and you are amazing. But for others, the random, the random people that would decide to go into the liquor store and say, hey, let me go and get this. Let me try this out. What are the differences?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what makes my whiskey different is first I'll start off by saying this. Premium whiskeys, your Pappy Van Winkles, your Woodfords, things of that nature, they all have a wheat component, I would say. There's a percentage of that premium whiskey that is wheaten because they want extra flavor and they want smooth. They want a smooth finish on it. So that wheat provides that for you. And the wheat is the upper echelon of the grains. It goes wheat, corn, then it goes your rye, and you have some peat, right? So I chose to put 95% wheat in my mash bill for that specific reason. So it's a heavily wheated, almost fully wheated whiskey. You can call it a fully wheated whiskey if you want to, because it pretty much is, right? So
Right.
there aren't many whiskeys on the market that have that much wheat in the mash bill. So it is smooth, and you can go higher up in proof with still being smooth. So most people say it drinks more so like 90 than a 101. And then you have a lot of flavor because I have a char number 4 on a scale of 1 to 5, which gives it the color. It gives it added flavors so that when it's in that barrel, it ages a little differently. It's going to be darker. So, yeah, there's a few things that are different about our whiskey. That 95% wheat and that char number 4 are two of the main factors that I would say. You're not going to find a lot on the.
With all these things in mind, what kind of legacy do you hope Brother Whiskey leaves behind?
Honestly, my intent is for this legacy to transcend for generations after generation. Me, my next little one, they little ones, everybody after that. I want this to last forever because it's really our what we like to say, and our slogan is elevate your spirit and define your style. I'm really teaching the game of whiskey, and I'm giving it to any and everybody. And that's how we elevate our spirit so that we can all enjoy and redefine what whiskey represents. And then you define your style by, those who come after you, you still have to teach them as well. So if they're learning the game since they were little babies, like my daughter knows the name. My daughter knows the name. She's saying every day. I said, I'm going to work. You going to Brotha Whiskey? Yeah. Yes, I am, baby. Good luck. I am going to Brotha Whiskey. You gonna sell for Brotha Whiskey? Yes, ma'am. Speaking into existence, baby. So I hope that it transcends generations and it becomes a household name very soon. And I just honestly, that's the overall goal. That's the bird's eye view from there.
We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. So you ready, dog?
I'm ready.
All right. It's commercial on 3. It's commercial on 3. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Commercial.
WSAN Radio, the soul of America and beyond. Join DJ Ron G and the WSAN crew every day for the Ron G Morning Show, Funk Friday, and Gospel Brunch Sunday. From local heroes to national guests, WSAN Radio connects you to the pulse of our community. One song, one story, one soul at a time. WSAN Radio, where music, motivation, and movement come together. Streaming live, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and WSANradio.com.
Got me together with this 2-piece. It's the good leggings, no see-through business.
And we are back. A big shout out to everyone that is, in fact, still with us, as well as all of those who have decided to advertise with us. Thank y'all so much. All those who are listening on WSAN Radio. What's going on, San Antonio? Good luck in the finals. Let's see. Dog, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, bro.
That's good. That's good. You have a quote where you said that, I've led global customer-facing projects with budgets exceeding $30 million, achieving a 95% on-time delivery rate, and the role honed your skills in system integration, operational efficiency, and managing international teams. With that skill under your belt, how do you hope that you utilize that moving forward, especially as your whiskey enters, different areas across the globe?
Great question. So for me, I literally apply everything that I've learned throughout my career in my everyday life.
Right.
So my project management certificates, my engineering, all that good stuff, my supply chain management consultant, all that good stuff, put it into my everyday life. So I make sure that everything is systematic so that it is transferable enough. So I put that in my business every single day so that my cost of goods get lower, my shipping gets lower. It's a little bit more efficient, that the people I work with, my partners, so they can eat a little bit more, so they're more susceptible to work with me, because Now they're eating more because we're growing. And right now, literally, probably about 30 minutes before this call, before this show, I was doing some maintenance. I would say, because I'm trying to move into new markets, literally within the next 2 weeks. So, and some opportunities just came up. So I'm literally trying to move into a couple of new markets within the next couple of weeks. And I had planned to do 2 this year, but it's looking like 3 to 4. And that's, the things are just starting to align. The stars are aligning. So, yeah.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Give me a decision, that you made that changed the trajectory of Brotha Whiskey.
Ooh. Let's see. I would say literally just stepping out on faith. Because I tell people, like, being an entrepreneur is not easy at all. Like, in any facet, I don't care what industry you're in, it is not easy. Honestly, I like to call it, I say, pretty much at some point in your entrepreneurial journey, you're gonna have to step off that cliff. You're gonna have to step off that cliff and hope you float on clouds. Because otherwise you're gonna hit the ground. But if you never step off that cliff, you'll never know what could. It's literally stepping out on faith, because for my second batch, mind you, we're on batch number 3. Batch number 3 literally just released 3 weeks ago in May, the middle of May. So batch number 2 was last fall. And it got real tough putting together batch number 2, because for distributors, money wasn't coming through the way it should have been coming through to me, even after it sold, things of that nature. Payments were delayed, you cash strained, and you still got to get new whiskey out because the demand is high, but the supply is low. So you got to figure out how to pivot on a dime. Literally, you got to work, you got to use your ingenuity to pivot immediately, because I had 0 product, a whole bunch of orders. There were people like demand, like, where is it? When is it? Why is it out of stock? When can I get it? What store can I go to? And I'm like, just give me a minute. So honestly, I started doing videos. I started doing like Wednesday and Sunday videos. People are like, oh, I like the videos. I'm like, good. It took your mind off the whiskey, because I don't have any right now. I have 0 whiskey for you. Okay. But watch these videos while I get it together. Okay. So it distracted people just for a little bit while I put it together. And then I put together just enough whiskey to carry me through for a while. And then that led into more opportunities, bigger opportunities. And then I got a little bit of funding. Then I got a whole bunch more whiskey. And so batch number 3 is literally our biggest batch yet, and it is our best batch today. So
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
and I'm a trainer. So I was saying, it was supposed to work out.
It's always gonna work out. It's always gonna work out. Oh my gosh. What year did you cross again?
17.
Yeah, 17 is that makes sense. that yeah. Y'all gonna succeed. All of y'all gonna succeed. All of y'all. Talk to me about an accomplishment that you are, most proud of, that nobody literally talks about, or just gives you your props or your flowers on.
I would say honestly, graduating from engineering school. It was a feat. Like, that was real, because you know how at HBCUs you go to orientation, whatever, they be like, look to your left, look to your right. One or both of them people ain't gonna be here when you graduate. It's real. But in engineering school, it's like, after that first year, everybody gone. It's 20 of y'all left in your whole major, and then by the time you get to your graduation class, probably 12 of y'all. And then honestly, a year or 2 after graduation, when everybody get their jobs, or after you graduate, a lot of my classmates didn't even want to do engineering no more. They just got an engineering degree. I had some that went to California to go dance. I had some that went to go do actors. There's some lawyers, a whole bunch of other stuff. But it was like 5 of us that stayed into engineering. and I actually got down and dirty into it and actually worked it out. But it was tough. And I was on the entire other side of the country. Like I left at 18. The day after graduation, I was on a plane at orientation. I was in North Carolina. Woke up in North Carolina. So I would say graduate from engineering because the one thing I told myself, I said, you got to finish what you start. So I started.
What will be the next big milestone for your life? You know, with that being, with that behind you, what's going to be like the next thing that you say, like, hey, I'm proud of this?
The next one. That's a great question because I like to let life come to me.
Right.
And I do have long-term goals and short-term goals and stuff like that. But I feel like the one thing that the next thing that I'll be, that's a milestone that I'm going to accomplish or whatever. I feel like I just don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But I feel like it's big for me at this point. So I feel like whatever that next milestone thing is, I won't know until it happens.
Don't let the world dictate it for you.
Yeah.
I know that they're gonna, you're gonna get more accolades. The accolades are gonna be what the accolades are, but do not let the world dictate it for you. Let it come from a place where inside of you that you say, I have built this thing, because you have already built something to be proud of. You yourself doing what you did by graduating from engineering school is already something to be proud of. To go ahead and say that, hey, I'm gonna also build a brand and actually follow through with it and wear all the hats and do everything that you've done with it, it is also another thing to be proud of. So whatever it is that you decide to be, to be proud of next, man, like, I just want you to know that you have people that are behind you, that are with you, saying that, hey, we are proud of it too. So specifically because it's you.
Appreciate that.
Thing, man. I mean that. What let's give the world a little bit of advice. Give me one book that you read that you said, you know what, this is actually going to help me with my entrepreneurial goals.
It's a book called, well, I read a couple books. I will say the one that helped me in this industry is called Mastering the Art of Whiskey.
Okay.
It was dope. It was a real dope book. And it gave me a lot of insight on like the process so that I could choose the right whiskey, because I could have entered this industry with a product a long time ago, but it took me a little longer because I wanted to enter it with the right product. Like, if I couldn't sit here and drink my own stuff today, there's no point in me having a brand. Like, if it's not my go-to, why do I have it? My opinion. So, like, I can talk about it all day, every day because I do that. But also, I would say, I don't know, profanity on the show, but yeah, the subtle art of not giving them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you can cuss, dog. It's fine.
Yeah,
so like,
the subtle art of not giving a fuck. So that book right there is, hey, look, it's insightful, man. And there's a series of them, but the subtle art of not giving a fuck was deep. Yeah, I already didn't care too much about what people thought about me or where I was going, and how their perception of what I was doing in the world. Because once you start to feed into that, you start to feel like everybody watching you all the time. I couldn't give a damn if you watching me. Because if you watching me, you ain't paying attention to what you're doing. So I'm clearly doing something right.
Absolutely.
So maybe you can walk in my path. That just means I'm a leader.
I wonder, do you have a whiskey besides your own that is, something that you do frequent?
Yeah, honestly,
because I mean, yours is high, dog. Yours is high quality. 95%, weed is not something to sleep on now. So
yeah, so I do. I have one of my favorites is and I'm not even a Scotch guy. Like,
right.
It took me a long time to refine my palate to even enjoy any scotches. But like, I had this one that I got from Germany. It's called it's an Oban, and it's the master distillers edition. I'm in the Bluetooth. Man, I got it. I had some earlier today, honestly. So when I was done with everything earlier today, I had a little drum. But yeah, it's called Oban, the master distiller edition. it's smooth. It's not like heavily peated, probably like 25 years or something like that. But I take it and I sit it to the side. So I enjoy just a little bit. And then I sit it to the side so I can keep it because I honestly don't know where I'm going to get that bottle from again. So, yeah, it's good.
Hey, man, I understand that. I'm actually a tequila drinker myself, but and now that I have, because you've shared this, guess who's coming over to try that nice recommendation that you just said.
Hey, pull up, dog. I had a whole bunch of them too. I got a whole collection, man. That's what I was tasting around the world, dog. During COVID, I got a little bit of everything in. They took down the walls. Let me get that Japanese. Let me get this. Let me get that. Sure, you gonna break down the walls and I gotta pay the tariffs or the taxes and the fees? Run that, bro. And I can't leave the house. Please, give me all of that. I got to throw it away.
Most definitely, dog. I'm coming through. I got to. Talk to me about what success means to you today versus before Brother Whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, success is defined on my long-term goals with the brand, and it's literally a daily struggle because as a small brand, we live a daily life. So like every account matters, and then once you get that account, you got to prove to them that you deserve to be there in that account. And then once you prove to them that you deserve to be in that account, you got to prove to them that you deserve to probably be on the menu so they can pour through it more. And then you just got to continue. It's continuously proving time after time after time after time what you already know. You know what I'm saying? You know that you're worthy. You know that you should be on the top shelf. You know that you shouldn't be on the rail. You know that you are premium forward. You know that you have the medals. You know that you have a following in the back end and you can bring people to do all this stuff, but everybody wants you to do the same exact thing every step of the way, every process. So I 60 accounts around this area, right? In the Maryland area, Maryland, DC. But every last one of them up front wanted me to prove to them and come do tastings every week. I can't do 60 tastings a week. That's a lot of time. First of all, especially everybody wants to do tastings Thursday to Saturday from 5 to 8. Y'all got two places a week. So yeah, it's everybody wants those tastings so they can sail through the bottles and then they can order more. So really today is make sure that I'm with the brand and I'm following the process that I've laid out for myself to get to those long-term goals and being patient with myself, not trying to make everything happen in one day. So that's really.
And before before you had Brother Whiskey, what did success, mean to you?
Before that, honestly, it meant climbing those ranks. Before I had Brother Whiskey, it meant climbing those ranks and ensuring that I could, just make it every day. Working in corporate America is not easy either. And I was literally, for majority of my career, the only one that looked like me. And not even the majority, like heavily, probably 90% of the time, I was the only one that looked like me. And I also didn't work for American companies most of the time. I worked for foreign companies. So I worked for Chinese companies, British companies, German, French, and all these companies. And it wasn't just like they were French and German companies here. It was French and German and Chinese people that was the majority at those companies. So it was really just making it through the day, through the language barriers and the culture barriers, and honestly, just making sure that I could just ascend through those ranks. That's what success looked like then. A new title, all that good stuff. But right now, it's a little different. So making sure that my name carries it. Also,
What do you want for your children?
I want them to live a soft life. Honestly. So I got one little girl right now, and I want her to live a soft life to the max. And to be honest, she has my mentality, so she living a soft life anyway. So she just floating. She gonna take whatever she can get. So she be chilling, to be real with you. But I want her to live the soft life to not have to necessarily worry about anything. That's not saying that she won't have to work for everything that she gets, but I want her to understand what hard work looks like. But for her to have those tools accessible to her to be able to, excel past everyone else that's in front of her, have a fast track available to her. I want her to know that she has a family around her. I want her to know that she has a community that backs her. And I need her to know that her support system is strong. So that there is no limits that she can't actually reach. And that's literally why I do this every day, to make sure that she sees me way up here, sees people looking up to me or seeing people taking after the things that I do, the systems that I put in place. Like, she already knows at 3 that I have a business, that I do this all the time. I'm working, I do this. But she like, okay, well, let me go start a company. Let me figure something out. Like, I think we're gonna have a community day in a couple of weeks. And she fell lemonade. She's 3. She's 3. So she got to drink her own. She's still lemonade at the little community thing. But she wanted to do something. She wanted to make sure somebody could buy something from her. So she's already entrepreneurial.
Okay. And when is the community day?
It's Juneteenth.
Okay. Where is it at?
It's out in Maryland.
Okay.
That's like, it's out in Maryland somewhere. I think about it.
Hey, listen, send it to me.
I got you.
Send it to me.
For sure.
Talk to me. You know what? Let me get this. One word that describes your journey.
One word.
One word.
Perseverance.
I knew you were gonna say that. You were. Oh my God! You are such a Trey. You are such a Trey. Oh my God, bro. All right.
I was trying not to, but it's definitely perseverance, because the way that I got here, honestly, it was not easy, for real. It wasn't easy, but it worked. And I understand that nothing is easy, but it was difficult. And honestly, I bootstrapped this company with my own money. This is my money that I put in, so that allowed me to persevere even more. And looking like, okay, all right, dog, you done put all this money in. Wake your ass up. Go get on that computer. Like, people understand, like, the videos that I put out on Wednesdays, I'm up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I forgot to do it the day before. So I woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning just to shoot that, so I can have time to edit that and then put it out so that people could, at the time, in that right slot, so everybody could actually see it and get to it, so it don't come to you 3 days later. Like, yeah, I'm meticulous about what I do and the process that I take, but also having to use my network that was expensive, but asking for favors to get bottles and, trying to figure out, like, if I'm asking for too much, but not wanting to ask for too much, but not caring no more because I need to get it done. Like, it's really just pushing past myself and beyond my boundaries of limits of what I'm comfortable with, just to make sure I succeed. Because once you throw that money in that account, it's done. It's not yours no more.
Yeah,
So,
you're absolutely right.
So that's why I say perseverance.
Favorite restaurant right now?
And I'm not just saying this because I rock with them, but Carolina Kitchen Sea. So it's a concept that's I've never seen before. So you can go get you can get a plate full of crab legs, like snow crab legs with some greens and macaroni and cheese and a little lamb. And then a good drink on top of that. And they got all black spirits behind the bar. So it's like,
yeah. Okay, I got what's called. Got to get that. Got to get that. You said lamb?
Yeah.
Crab legs too?
It's a situation, bro.
It sounds like a bit of a situation. I feel like, those of us who are in the audience need to, plan something for that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's an absolutely amazing idea, actually. Favorite restaurant when you were a kid, though?
Yeah, don't laugh. But I feel like it was Tony Roma's.
Tony, what?
Tony Roma's. With the ribs.
I know. I knew you was gonna say ribs, and that's the funny part about it. Like I said it in my head.
Tony Roma's. I used to smack them ribs, bro.
You
I'm
know,
sad they don't like exist anymore, I don't think. Actually, you know what? I found one in Canada. Like right on the other side of Monoma Falls, on the Canada side. Not Monoma Falls, that's Oregon. Niagara Falls, right on the Canada side. It's one right there. Next to the hotel, in the corner.
I'm
And I was
going.
up there, it's like,
I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. It's okay, though. I'm going.
we said,
I'm
bro,
going.
we got to go to Tony. You don't just see a Tony Roma's and not just
You
pull up.
don't, bro. Now you know what's funny. As a kid, from like when I was from Texas, favorite Shoney's.
Shawnee.
Because whenever I could find it, whenever we were like, "Oh, it's the Shoney's," bro, it was lit. It was lit.
Shawnee.
Shoney's, man. I want to get into the goal of the show, which is philanthropy, garnering support from the audience and putting it towards a charity or nonprofit that you care about. What charity or nonprofit would you like to spotlight today? You know, give a shout out to, and why is the cause that it faces so important to you?
Absolutely. For me, I would say the nonprofit is Feeding America. And it's important to me being from Portland, Oregon, honestly, because everything is from farm to table, and there's a huge down on the west. Um, and I believe that everybody has the right to food, everybody has the right to eat, things of that nature. And our crops are grown to be eaten. So they are feeding America literally, and they're making sure that everybody understands what it means to have a full belly. So, yeah. Yes.
Man, listen, thank you so much for shouting them out. Hopefully, those who are underneath the sound of our voices, who have in fact enjoyed this conversation, they in fact donate, whether it be their time, energy, effort, or even a monetary donation to them. And yeah, man, they help put food in the bellies of people that are out there. Dog, I want to say thank you so much for your time, your energy, your effort, what it is that you do. You know, it is absolutely amazing. It is admirable. Thank you so much for shouting them out as well. Um, Before we close out, though, we like to leave with words of wisdom for the next generation. So, what words of wisdom would you have for the young entrepreneurs who are having a hard time securing funds for their dreams?
Make sure that you have a plan. And don't just have a plan in your head. Make sure that you take that plan that you've been thinking about and the journey that you plan to go on and put that on paper. Because people will listen and they make sure that you will get exactly where you need to go, but they just need to see it. They need to visualize what your thoughts are, what your projections are, what your needs are, what your product is. They need to actually see it. So even if you just use Google, you can find everything that you need to set up that business so that you can be fundable. Because having a business idea is one thing, but having a fundable business idea is something else. You need to actually be able to put it down on paper, on a tangible piece of paper, so that you can say, here, this is what I'm doing, this is what I've been doing, this is what I need to do, this is where I'm having issues at, and be very transparent in your thought process and in your delivery when you're talking to these people, because they're gonna help you. Nobody has an issue helping you, but they just want to see. You can't just give them a 2-second pitch or a 3-minute pitch and think it's gonna work, because then they gotta do due diligence. And that due diligence is all about paper. They want to know. They gotta see the numbers, they gotta see your idea. So write it down whenever you think about it.
17 words of wisdom, man. I mean, I'm just so happy to see it. Like, I'm happy to see it. Um, y'all, this has been an absolute amazing conversation. And team, I just want to tell you, like I said, thank you again so much. He's gonna go ahead and bring you down. I'm gonna close out the show, and I just want you to know we appreciate you, doggy.
I appreciate y'all for having me. It's an amazing show, man. We had a little fun on here.
I mean, you can always come back now. Like I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
All right, for sure. You guys, that was an absolutely amazing conversation. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that stuck through. Well, I said stuck through, who watched the entire show from the top to the bottom. I'm so grateful and appreciative of you all. Make sure you guys tune in next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we have another amazing guest. And if in fact you see Brother Whiskey on the shelf near you, go ahead and pick up a bottle and take a selfie with it, send it in. I want to make sure I post it. Peace. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. I'm Ezel Moon. Wait, like, can I do another one? Can I do another one? My editor is gonna do his thing where he cuts this whole part out. That's not happening. This is live. I'm Ezel Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people. Peace.